Have you ever wondered how people turn footage that looks like this and turn it into something like this? Today, I'm going to show you guys how with only 4 nodes in DaVinci Resolve. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Luke. I'm a freelance cinematographer and editor, and we're going to be teaching you guys everything there is in filmmaking. If you guys like that kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button and let's get started. In our color page, we're going to go in here and make sure that all our settings are correct. I am working on 1920 by 1080 because I am working on an old computer system. The computer I'm working with is a 2018 MacBook Pro, and I'm running an Intel i7 processor and 16 gigs of RAM. This has got to tell you guys something, okay? Don't let the new technology limit you from doing what you love to do. This thing has been my workhorse since I graduated from Full Sail University. And we got color space transform here. And what we need to do is transform our timeline color space, which we're going to have DaVinci wide gamut, and our output color space is going to be Rec 709A, because I'm just going to be grading straight on the monitor on this MacBook. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to change this to tetrahedral, make this broadcast safe, and we're going to say save. So this is our CST in. This is our primary. We're going to do look, and then we're going to do CST out. Now, sometimes what I do is I actually convert this to a different color space. I can convert it into red log, and that actually looks a lot better. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this, and we're going to actually bring this to a red wide gamut red log G310 profile. And you'll see why I'm doing that, because I just enjoy working in that color space a lot. So we're going to swap this, and we're going to go back into, wait, this is red wide gamut. Yep. Red log G3. And then this is going to go back into DaVinci wide gamut. It doesn't give me more dynamic range when I'm working on this, because this is already Rec 709. It's a very small window that you have to work on something like this. What we're going to do here is we're going to apply rapid grade on here. Let's just see what 90s colors look like. And right away, look at this. This is an 8-bit footage. I really want to see what this looks like with the Interstellar one, and boom. I mean, that's crazy. See what we got with false color. Now, we can't really do much because this was Rec 709, so I'm afraid that this dynamic range slider is just gonna be something turning this into garbage, but let's just see what it does. Yeah, you see what's happening? We got all this garbage that's happening up here. We'll bring up the shadows a little, see what this does. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We can even blend it down just a little. Yeah, something like that. I'm happy with that. I am. I already know that some of you guys are probably typing in the comments, because Kazi does get a lot of mixed reviews, and I've read a lot of those reviews. Like, some people say that he's just a salesman who is saying that he's a colorist. I don't see that. I don't see it the way that you guys see it. I have been a Kazi guy for quite some time. I put his videos out all over this channel. I have used literally every single one of his products, and Rapid Grade was actually one of his tools that I just kept circling back to, and I just couldn't justify the price at the time. And for the longest time, I did want it, but I just couldn't afford it. Main limitation is the price, because this is the exact thing that held me back for so long. Rapid grade is not cheap, and it's not cheap for a reason. I mean, you got to think about the value that it offers, right? And if you guys are a hobbyist in this industry, that price is going to sting. And honestly, that is a fair reason to wait. I sat on it for quite some time for the same reason, but after a year of using it on real work, I found that it earned every single cent, especially because of the community that's built behind it. So he has these one-click looks on here, and we'll go through some of these, but he has the black and whites, our commercial looks, and we can go into like 90s vibes. We can go commercial white, nightclub, which I don't like because of the Corvette looking kind of purplish. Now we got Pacific Rose. Then we got go into cinema light, clean film, like all these one-click wonders. And it just makes it to where you can click one and keep going. And then he has inspired by, right? And these ones are absolutely incredible. I don't know if you ever seen Interstellar, but it's one of my favorite movies from Christopher Nolan, and actually probably one of the only films from Christopher Nolan I actually like right now. But this one here, Interstellar, let's just go with this because I really love what it's doing. And look at the grass, look at everything that's happening inside here, right? Now down here, we have a master blend now. So what we can do with this is, let's just say that we don't like the look as heavy, right? So we can lessen the look from the master blend, and it just dials everything down. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to go ahead and just dial it back to probably like a 930 because I think it's just a little too heavy on the blacks. And then we have right here, the same thing that we had with the DCTL tools that he had with the toolkit. He has all implemented into here, but better. So we go in here, and we could go into false color. We can look at our false color just to make sure everything is good. We can actually come in here and set our dynamic range. We want to bring our highlights down a little bit more, which looks great. And then we could bring our shadows up too. So let's just bring our shadows up a little. Look at this image here and see what it's doing. I mean, look at that. Look how much detail we brought back. Of course, this is an Alexa 35, right? So it has a lot of dynamic range and a lot of room to work with on here. And I might just brighten this up just a little. I don't want to brighten it up too much. Something like that. And then we have hue versus hue. Let's just say we don't like this blue, right? We can go in here to our cyans, and we can really hone in on that color. Something like that. You see what I did with the cyans? And it just messed with the cyans. That's it. Then we have our film saturation, where you can mess with the mid-tone shadows and highlights. We got film density, which is just the same as what we talked about previously on the toolkit. And we got bleach bypass, we got film grain, and he has different presets on here. We got 35, IMAX, halation. I'm not the biggest fan on the halation, I'm going to be honest. I think it's just a little too heavy, and even when I bring the intensity back a little, I just don't like the look of the way the halation is. And, everything is subjective to opinions, right? And some people like the halation, some people don't. And that's fine, I'm just not the biggest fan on halation on the rapid grade. Now, this right here is by far the one thing I've been wanting. So we got Black Pro Mist right here, right? And that's just one of those filters that we can put in front of our lenses, the Black Pro Mist filter. So we have a quarter, and then we could bring it up, bring it down to an eighth, bring it up to a half, and look what it's doing. It's just blooming those highlights, right? And then we got fog if we want to do fog. And now, just to let you guys know, this is GPU hungry, okay? I don't know if you hear my computer fan right now, but it is blowing up. And we have Hollywood Black Magic, which I really like, and I think what we'll do is we'll keep it at an eighth. I really like the soft tones. I color graded this with Technicolor originally when I did the short film. So I really want that vibe that's happening. So do I think Rapid Grade is worth it? After a year for me, yeah. Here's the real reason. It was not the film looks that's built in. It wasn't the film grain. You know, my problem was never building looks. My main problem, and I think I still struggle with it, is I overthink a lot. And my problem is I get too technical about everything. So I personally want to hear from you. Are you still in the build it all from scratch camp, or did a tool finally earn a spot in your workflow? Drop it below. I will be down there in the comments with you guys. You know, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.